Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very disturbing episode of Shenanigans.
where we talk about
harvest blood.
harvesting blood. It's pretty great.
Yes.
It's pretty great.
Right. So, I think we're all in together to try and go to scam my family. Trying to accept this new idea of like this enhanced holy water, which we somehow will try to have my father or maybe mother, like, prick him or herself, like in the hand or something,
Ooh.
and drip down in a container. And
Well, no, my plan is just that. We need to let some blood into this container, and then I can heal you right afterwards. A priest, a cleric.
Well,
you have clerical powers. That much is true, and so that you would definitely add another layer of this is legit to it.
And as much as it pains me to say this, I think if we call it like charity or the church ensuring the future of whatever, and the only charge is the blood it costs you to actually make this, I like that too.
I like how you said. I like how you said charity because her name is Sherry. Did you ever think about that? Sherry.
I did not think about it at all.
It's for charity. Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
I see.
Great.
all right. Off you guys go on your way to Schnobbington.
Well,
Yeah.
hold up. 10 vials,
Right.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
10 glass vials.
buying a different outfit that does not have my coat of arms embroidered on it.
Oh, okay.
And I am pocketing my signet ring.
Excellent.
So because I don't want to be accused of impersonating a noble.
Right. You get the death penalty for that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna go and buy a new outfit. Like nice outfit. However nice you could get it in this little backwater town, but like a 5 gold outfit. Is that too?
That's fine. That's great. That's, it's like buying a $500 suit or I don't know the conversion rate to Swedish money. You guys have kroner, right? That's your currency?
To $1 or something. Like it's like 8 krona to $1, I think. Maybe 10.
If it's 8, that'd be 4,000 kroner.
So it would be like a 3,000. No, that's a Danish kroner. We don't want Danish kroners. We want Swedish. What the hell?
Neal, just use an 8 to 1.
Here we
4,000
go.
kroner.
4,200 Swedish kroner outfit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good,
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll go
By
with
the
that.
way, Simon, you're paying for the glass vials.
How much are they? How much are the vials?
I don't know. I gotta look it up. Glass is expensive.
Because I did not get any money from the last adventure, so my funds are actually a little bit limited.
Uh-oh. We might have to get creative then.
Listen,
just tell me how much it costs.
yeah, I'm a priest. I'm pretty sure I can only start with like 1 gold. So
Yep, something like that. Vial. I don't see. Maybe it's in the spell components. B, C, D, E, F, G. Glass tube.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's pretty close. A glass tube is 100 copper.
1 gold.
A gold piece.
Yeah. Okay. And you want 10 of those. Okay. Yeah.
sure.
I can afford that. It's just like I guess Victor would be like, well, it would be a small price to pay.
If you want to buy 5, I guess it's fine.
No, we'll go with 10. Is that 10? We'll go with 10. But I'm saying you're carrying them.
Oh, I think what he's also saying is
I
if you
can carry
break
them.
them, you pay them back.
Well,
Nah.
I don't want to. Well, it's just pocket change, really. So, you know.
They're hefting my big backpack. Yep, pocket change. 10 gold.
Yeah.
Figuring I'm probably richer than your parents.
Whatever do you say, Rock? How could that be?
It was a joke. Pocket change. I'm making fun of you.
All right. I'm not really accustomed to the humor.
Yeah, get used to it. It's gonna happen.
I see. Well, you have my.
It shows
gratitude.
camaraderie.
Right. All right. If I'll say yes to you two, if this goes well, within a year, you'll be sure to be rewarded at least. I
Excellent.
won't forget you.
Good.
Right. So I'll just get like a 5 gold suit, and he can have his 10 gold worth of vials.
Perfect.
Cool. Glass is expensive.
Yeah, glass
Alright.
is super expensive.
How much does a
Each vial weighs a 20th of a pound.
A half pound.
Right.
Oh, God,
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how. I don't use metrics, so I don't intuitively know how much 100 milliliters is. And so I'm googling like 100 milliliter glass vial, and it's just pictures of
okay.
glass vials with like no context behind
Neal,
it. So it's like,
Think
is it this
of
big or is it this
1
big?
liter is a little bit more than a quart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very much a little bit
Well, I
more.
understand the size of a liter. I have many 1 liter containers in my life, but 100 milliliters
Is a tenth of a liter.
Yeah. Okay, so that.
So just call it like a
1,000 milliliters
cup.
is 1 liter. And
Call it like 3/4 of a cup.
0.42 of a U.S. customary cup.
Okay, so half a cup.
Half a cup.
That's huge.
Okay, so
That's
we're
huge
probably
for-
looking at like 10 milliliter vials or 50,
Yeah.
20 milliliter vials.
so basically like a spoon, like a
Ooh, yeah.
Teaspoon.
something like a teaspoon, maybe.
Tablespoon to milliliter. 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters, about. Perfect. So we're going to do 20 milliliter glass vials. Okay. So you have your vials, you have your things.
You set the attire. Yeah.
Wait a minute, but 20 milliliter. Oh, that's 2. No wonder. Okay. So a little bit less than an ounce. Wait a minute, isn't like a shot an ounce and a half?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Hold on, it's gonna be, we're gonna do 50 milliliter vials, all right? 50 milliliter, that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
So then
Yeah,
one
but-
I'm
vial.
pretty sure this is all flavor text. I'm not writing this down, Neil.
No, I needed to write it down for my own economics guide. Because it should be about, like, maybe not. No, it should just be a single ounce. I'm sorry, this is unnecessary.
This is very unnecessary.
It's very unnecessary. We're doing 30 milliliter vials, guys. 30 milliliter vials. All right, now that we've established this.
All
I
right.
swear, if you make me do more unit conversions on my weekend off, I swear to God,
All right.
when I take vacation, I'm gonna stop in Colorado. I'm gonna slap you. I was like gonna fly in. They're like, "Hey Neal, I'm in Colorado. Can you pick me up from the airport?" Like, "Oh yeah, sure." And the very first thing I do is fly.
No more unit conversions! At least I'm not asking you to do fluid dynamics. You know?
I already did that.
Yeah, but at least we're not asking you to do that on stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not a fun class.
All right. You guys have made it to Schnobbington.
Oh,
What is the correct pronunciation of Schnobbington?
Schnobbing. Wait,
Schnobbing.
we didn't even fight anything? Oh man.
It's not like Schnobbington or something like that.
Schnabbington.
Schnobbington.
All right.
Like von Schnapp. Schnabbing.
Schnobbing. Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Schnobbington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mycket bra.
Okay, all right, that's enough. This is getting off the rails too much. All right, you have made your way to Schnobbington. It's 2 days later, and you see the village before you. There's farm fields around you. There's like a herd of cattle off to one side. There's a herd of alpacas off to the other side, and your family's little keep is, you can see it in the middle of town. No one has spotted you yet, but you can see people moving around, moving about in the fields, working. How would you like to approach?
Please tell me that like everyone's got their nose up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit, yeah.
Little bit, like they're a little bit higher than others. Yeah. Like.
So that way, when they want to look down their nose at me, they really gotta like tilt their head, and they just look stupid doing it.
I've had to put some dampeners on myself, like, 'cause otherwise I would just be looking like this all the time, like nose up. No, I kind of get like the reflex as I come up, like to raise my nose a bit, like when I'm here. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, Howard, how do you propose we set up shop? Like, just near the keep? I mean, there's a little market, but it's not very big. I don't think I could. I don't think I have the money to rent.
I would say. Well, I'd say the best thing we could do would probably either be setting up a little stall or something, or and say it's like 50 gold, 25 gold to have this procedure done, or have just go up and say we are offering this service free to all the nobles. We want to make sure in case of an undead invasion that the nobles are protected.
Now, has there been undead hordes sweeping in the past, like in these areas? It's looking at past.
I mean, listen, if there's... We want to make sure the nobles are protected from any necromancers that might crop up in the world.
Yeah, like that woman, sure.
Or any ghost hauntings. I mean, if they can't see the value of having something that protects them from undead, then...
Well, perhaps the physical undeads are not as prevalent here, but, I mean, there's always perhaps the, the stats one spirit that doesn't really want to move on.
Helps you get rid of the ghost of your long-dead mother-in-law.
Ooh, I think that's a good one.
Maybe my father has some skeletons in his closet.
Literally. They're just hanging there. Each day he's like, well, do I want this skeleton? I'll just put this skeleton inside me today and I'll look like this.
God knows he's rich enough.
He might have some
What?
exquisite hobbies I haven't really found out about yet. Never did you let me into that cellar. Let's... Why don't we... do you need like just like a little bit of space, I said, to set up shop, I guess. Like a little. We could rent a stall, as you said before, maybe.
Well, what do you think would work better? Would a stall for like 50 gold each to have this procedure done
A lot of
attract your family,
lot of
or
money to
would
me,
going
but,
up and offering it as a service?
Well, I mean, if you offer something up for free to people, I'm pretty sure they're more likely to take it than if they have to pay for it.
But you're saying like the free for the noble.
Yeah,
but
free for the
offering
noble,
it for free does reduce legitimacy. That's the thing.
Well, you could perhaps. It's the thing, like, I'm not sure many here can afford that sort of price. Even though it's, it's nothing. For me, or my family, 25 gold. But
Right. It probably wouldn't do much good setting up shop.
not for the, not for the common folk, unless you're like, lowering the price severely and then offering it for free to the nobility, perhaps. But you would have to go quite low, like in the silver. I just silver brew. Just like filthy copper kind. I don't even want to speak its name.
I'd say it would be best if we just go offer it, saying we're heading town to town, offering it to the leading noble and their spouse of the town, the controlling noble and the spouse.
Right. It's just the...
And then if anyone else wants to stop us along the way, it's like 50 gold.
Now, getting inside the little keep, getting inside the keep wouldn't have been a problem if I just, could convince them, or if I just be me. But now it's a bit of a problem.
You guys are having this conversation when you notice that one of the people that are herding the alpacas is coming your way with the alpacas. Now, this person is mounted on a horse. He's an alpaca cowboy, and they're making their way towards you. He's going to be here within 60 seconds.
I'll stand in front of them so that way, if the alpacas get to us, they get to me first.
I'm sorry, are the alpacas your natural enemy or something?
No, but
I'm going to say we should go offer. We're going to go with the offering it as a service plan.
Just go to the side of
the
it.
tax is already paid for it.
All right. Eventually, the cowboy arrives, riding on a brown and white horse, and trots up to you guys. Hello there. What are you doing in Schnobbington?
Hello.
First off, can I pet your alpaca?
No, please don't.
The hell are you doing here then?
I am herding my alpaca. It is almost grooming season, don't you know?
I think the better question is, do I care? Sorry, we've got important business.
I see. In the village?
Our business is not your business.
Quite understandable. Well then,
And I
good day.
keep moving.
The alpaca herder kind of rounds up his alpacas and starts moving them back generally in the direction of the village.
Do I recognize? I recognize him, right?
Does any one of them get close, Neal, after he's turned around? I'm totally gonna
not with an arm reach, but if you like skitter over 20 feet, you could totally pet one. You have to go out of your way to do it. Yes, you do recognize this person. This is Charles.
Charles, of course, a very distinguished alpaca cowboy.
Absolutely.
Very good at his job, actually.
Comes from a long line of alpaca herders.
But he's a bit nosy, if you ask me.
Yep.
God, I'm gonna hate this place.
All right, you guys make your way into the village. And there are many villagers around, all doing the things that they're doing. Tailors are outside, kind of sewing the clothes together. Children are practicing their arcane walks in the street.
Yes, I love it.
I spent the whole rest of the walk between the alpaca farmer and the town just like boosting up my own arrogance. Like, I if I'm a guarding these guys walking in a Schnobbington, I got to be able to outbrag them.
I mean, you think like it's only mostly like the like fashion, like they take after the nobles, but like here's like their lifestyle, like the whole thing, the whole shtick. Like everyone, it's like not really nobles, but they kind of like act like.
Yeah. So. I mean, they may not be nobles, but they're better than every other peasant everywhere else.
Right. Yeah. They're like super peasants.
They're super peasants.
The elite.
So you make your way into the village square. It's a regular old day, but it's getting on towards late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah, I believe you mean it's an exquisite day.
Yes. Isn't it just so? And what do you do?
All right. Howard, you said perhaps we should just services then.
Yeah,
Now,
I'd say we just go to the keep.
Right.
Tonight?
And tell them exactly that we have an interesting proposition for the.
Perhaps in the morning.
Try to catch my father as he's heading out of the keep on one of his hunting trips.
Well, how late is it, Neal?
It's it's pre-evening. It's right before evening. It's like late afternoon.
Oh yes, of course. How did we forget pre-evening?
Pre-evening, yes. It's a time of day only found in Schnobbington.
It's very special.
Yes, this is the time where everyone gets out their sipping brandy and their dessert wines, and they just kind of, the sun is about to go down, but it's not quite evening yet. We should all have a little bit of a, some fortified wine, some port,
we should probably find.
Pre-evening is my favorite
room.
time of the day. Just saying, like it's just so nice.
Pre-evening? You mean like afternoon?
No, pre-evening.
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 But I guess.
Oh, you mean like
I guess you can
afternoon?
appreciate that.
Late afternoon.
No. It's between late afternoon and evening. It's that in-between time.
Like someone
Early
comes up and
evening.
like explains pre-evening to the rock.
And I'm just like, no, that's stupid.
No. Don't you see? It goes early afternoon, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, pre-evening, early evening, late evening.
All right, let's get this out of the way. We're gonna go find a tavern, and we're gonna wait until brunch time, and then go bother them.
All right. You wait until the next day in the tavern called the High Horse.
Oh my god. This whole time, the Rock is just sitting there like, I can't.
Everyone is insufferable. Like
I cannot separate their freaking pointy noses that are always up in the air. Can't separate them from their faces. That would be illegal.
But around brunch rolls around the next day. You actually hear the big grandfather clock in the common room start to dong, dong, dong when brunch rolls around. And out come the little wooden carved flutes filled with bubbling wine mixed with orange juice and some scrambled eggs next to waffles with maple syrup and bacon.
At least the food's good.
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so good to be. Like, I mean, even though this is
that
like
actually
most
sounds
common
really good right
common
now. Let's
affair,
pause.
like I've had better food in the key, but like, it's still.
Yes. The innkeeper's name is Victoria, and she serves you your food as needed.
Shit, I was like. By the way, guys, you should refer me to as James. By the way, now refer me to as James. I need to switch up a name.
Is there anything else I can get for the customers today? Or are the chocolate-covered waffles and mimosas enough?
Nah, this is pretty good for now, thanks.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That would be all. Thank you.
Goodbye. She walks away.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Yep. And here you are in Schnobbington, ready for your mission. You've had brunch.
Thank God we've had brunch.
What are you gonna do?
Oh my God, we got to be careful. We might miss tea time.
Wow. I'm going to
Are you
act
serious?
as the leading priest and just go up to the door.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Which door?
The keep door.
Oh.
All right, the three of you make your way up to the keep. There are a pair of guards outside who look at you as you approach and give you a slight head nod and say, my dear father, what is your business here at the keep today?
I'm here to offer a service to the lords.
Please do detail this service. His lordship most definitely likes to know what he's getting into.
Well, there's a new way of protecting people from undead with holy magics that has come about, and we are here to offer it to him.
Does seem great. I forgot myself. It has been very successful from the ranges from Kirchwick to Fendon to Wicron Rarenta already. And now we come from Berkshire to here to offer it.
Please do come in. They lead you into a sitting room.
Quite, thank you.
Where one of these servants, dressed in a tuxedo with a white tie, pours you all some wine. And a few minutes later, who should come downstairs but your father, Victor the First, along with two heavily armed bodyguards wearing like breastplates and great helms with long swords at their sides and shields strapped to their arms.
Yes.
The guards stand right beside
Tarkin and Bob.
And Bob.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you mean Robert.
I stand up and say, my lord, I'm here to offer you a service free of charge from the church. We have come up with a new way to protect anyone from undead. All it requires... Well, you're aware of magical oils, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. Well, we essentially make an oil that has almost the same properties as holy water. When rubbed, when it is applied to any part of the user's body, it wards the undead away for them for a duration of about 24 hours. Any sort of ghosts, skeletons, ghouls, anything.
Does this work on all undead?
It seems to. It has not been tested on vampires yet.
And when you say ward, could you elaborate a little further?
They immediately flee and do not seem to be willing to get within 100 feet.
I see. So if I had an undead servant, I would be unable to order them around. They would be unable to bring me my afternoon tea.
Once it is applied, yes.
Most unfortunate. You
Mm.
see, our good servant, Jimmy, has recently passed away, and his dying wish was to be brought back as a zombie under my control, so he could further continue to serve me in death.
I like you see me like I tear up a little bit because when it says like,
Jimmy's
old
dead.
Jimmy, you missed it. Like
No,
it must have been like
Yes, old Jimmy. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Are you from Schnobbington? Or do you just have family here?
mm, a family mostly. I've been visiting them. I have seen Neal, like Jimmy would have been outside, so I would have only been the keep, or like would have seen.
Whatever. You can roll with it however you want.
Yeah, like oh Jimmy, is a friend, most like or
Now-
most sort of friend of my parents.
Yes, he was beloved by many people. A wonderful manservant.
He said he has chosen to be under your command as a shambling undead, though. That's interesting.
There is nothing shambling about Jimmy. We have procured the greatest of the dark clerics in order to make sure his gait is unaffected by his lack of heartbeat. Jimmy, would you come in here, please? And in walks a man who's just got like a white mask covering his face, so you can't really see any details of it. Wearing the like traditional butler's outfit with the long tails and the white tie and the gloves and the he comes in with a silver plate and just kind of goes.
Sorry, I'm just gonna write down Jimmy the undead butler. It's amazing. Okay.
Well, it is very unfortunate. The exact circumstance you would be in with not being able to order him around, but should there be any sort of necromancer attack or
Yes.
anything of the sort, it would protect you from it.
Now, also, if there, happens to be any perhaps lingering spirits in your ancestry, perhaps that you wish would merely leave you alone, perhaps this would be incentive enough if something would bother you.
But we are going around offering this to the owning lord of a town and their spouse,
Of
the
course,
service.
as it should be.
I see.
Now, it is rather unfortunate how the substance is made, unfortunately. The oil does require the blood of the user to be the base of the oil when it is being created. It is the main substance that gets imbued with the magical energies.
You would like my blood?
It requires, I pull out one of the vials with a little white label on it. It requires one vial to be brought back to the main church, to be imbued with the magical energies, and then be brought back to you.
Now,
Yes,
Neal,
I
if my father is okay with like raising the undead to become their servants, I don't think this would probably be a very.
And what church did you say you belong to again?
Well, I myself am a cleric of Womator, but I belong to the main church in Wickthron, Rorenta.
Yes.
To be fair, after we are able to fill one of the vials to be brought back, I do certainly have healing energies that will be able to leave you without any wound.
Would not be any scars, of course.
Well, I do appreciate your attention to detail. You are not the first person come looking for a sample of my blood. Many people are after the bloodline of the Schnobbingtons. We are one of the oldest and most well-respected families in all of Drekis. And many people have come trying to procure samples of our blood for their dark magics or their twisted desires. How do I know I can trust that this is not some sort of perversion?
It's free to you if you do not wish to take it.
Yes, that is
we will
most
just head to the next
suspicious.
Mm.
The Schnobbingtons have never taken anything for free.
It is 50 gold to anyone but the leading nobles in their spouse of a town.
This is to. It is merely because we need to preserve, protect our.
Why have I not heard of this procedure? He says, interrupting you. Before today.
It has just come out. We have dispatched most of the clerics from the main church out to gather the blood of all the nobles first of all, and then start offering it as a service for 50 gold to anyone else who would want it done.
All right. I feel like there's some pretty decent arguments back and forth here. So, Howard, would you make me a charisma check to see if you've sold it to this guy? DC 21 charisma check.
What's that going for you?
Ooh!
Heyo!
He nods and says, yes, we can afford some of these protections. You never know when peasants will try and uprise against the establishment, often using the dead for combat weapons.
Yes, I have heard of some undead in Berkshire recently.
My lord, if you wish
A lot of crap in Berkshire.
for your servants, well, I mean, that would be of their blood, of course.
And what happens if we use old Jimmy's blood and create an undead ward on him? Would he be forced to run away from himself?
As an undead, does he have blood?
It's coagulated, but it is still there.
It has to stay in liquid form.
I do
That's
see.
why it must fill the vials so it can't coagulate.
I do see. Fine.
But that would raise an interesting question. If we try to... We'll have to test it. It is very new magics that have come out. Nobody has tried imbuing blood with this magical essence up until this point. So...
Oh, like, you probably shouldn't oversell it.
Well then, he extends a hand towards you for you to cut.
All right. Does anyone have a dagger?
Yeah, I take out my dagger, twirl it around a bit, and I'll be like, just a little bit of a sting. Right. And I go a little bit deep, so it definitely is more than just a little bit of a sting.
Careful there.
Right.
All right. He winces in pain and kind of tries not to show too much effect on his face.
Of course.
Of course, but when I see the wince, just get a little bit of a smirk.
All right.
I make sure to collect all the blood up to the full.
You fill the vial with 30 milliliters of blood.
3-0.
Immediately cork it, stop it, whatever it is. Whatever it has for a top. And then start casting Orison until the wound has completely healed.
All right. The wound has healed over. And the Lord Schnobbington says, and how long shall it take to create the effect?
Well, we will finish offering it to the remainder of the towns around the plains, then bring it back to the main church.
So I shall be seeing
once
the...
all the... It should be in around 3 weeks to a month, depending on travel difficulties.
Of course, of course. Lovely, thank you, indeed.
As I said, this is offered to the leading lord and their spouse. If your wife would want it.
Lady Clara is currently out and about on a horse ride with her friends and is unable to attend. Need she have a sample drawn of herself? Or will my blood work for her too?
It requires the specific blood of the user, and as I'm writing his name on the label on the vial.
Right,
it has to be exactly the user's blood.
Jimmy, would you be so kind as to escort our guests out to where Clara is on her riding adventures? Good day, gentlemen. And Victor turns and walks out with his 2 guards.
My lord.
Undead Jimmy just kind of and starts slowly hobbling out the front door and kind of like taking off towards the fields. For you guys to go
taking
find
off, I assume you mean slow shambling.
Slow shambling, yeah. Well, he doesn't shamble. He has a regular gait to him. Yeah.
Okay.
They took care to make sure he didn't look like he was some lower class undead.
But he's still slow though.
Lower class.
Oh, totally slow, but like, poised.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. You guys make your way out into the fields, following Jimmy. And sure enough, you find Lady Clara riding horseback with 2 bodyguards behind her and then like a couple of friends around her. They see Jimmy, who's distinctive with his white face mask, and trot on over to see what's up with the 3 of you.
Hello, Lady Clara.
Would you like me to restate the whole spiel, Neal?
You can just have restated, and she looks down at you guys and probably sees the vial that you have of Victor's blood. I don't think she would ask any more questions. Yeah, let's just do another charisma check. It would be the same role-playing thing all over again. Let's just skip it. Second charisma check. Oh, God, you're doing so well. She, too, consents to the drawing of blood, but then her friend is like, hey, what about me?
Are you a leading noble of the town?
Is she a noble, Neal?
She is a noble from a different town, but she's not like a ruling noble. She's like a sub-noble.
Like your family's kind of rich noble.
Yeah, like they're technically nobles and they own land in the town, but they're not like the ruling family. It's like...
Okay. Well, and I say, well, if you are not the ruling noble or their spouse, it is a service offered for 50 gold.
Oh, why, I've never been so insulted by a peasant in my life. Off with you.
Ma'am, I believe you would not be insulting a peasant, but those of higher power than us mere peasants.
The rock just...
That made no sense whatsoever, you rash, strapping young man with many swords.
Please excuse him. He has more bronze than brains.
Anyway,
the 2 ladies exchange looks with one another and goes, yes. We could use an extra escort for the day. Brash young man with more bronze than brains.
How much are you willing to pay?
Oh.
20 gold pieces.
I'm sorry, my time's worth more than that.
Oh my, really? What is your time worth?
Let's see here. Well, that depends. What have I killed in the past? I'd say for the entire day, it'd probably be around 150 to 200 gold.
150200 gold?
150 to 200 gold. Depends on what you need me to kill.
I see. Yes. We need you to kill nothing.
Oh. Alright. That's boring.
They're just looking for something other to look at.
Yes, we were looking for some male company for the afternoon.
Oh, you're talking about a show. Well, I'm
no,
gonna need
we're
a giant...
we're specifically looking for a man whore, and you are new in town and have the right build for us. What are your going rates?
I'm sorry, but if there are no lights and there's no arena, there is no show.
Like, is this her talking, or is like my mother agreeing? Like,
your mother's just silently nodding alongside.
Like I'm like gripping like this.
This is like the Rock sort of wants, but the Rock's really freaking bored and wants to hit things.
You can see like, I'm comfortable.
And it really does not like this place.
Do
you really want to have sex with somebody who's constantly looking down their nose at you?
I said, I think we have
200 gold then. Sold.
Oh crap! That actually. Let me take it.
All right. Have we done the blood drawing?
No, the blood has not been drawn yet. They've agreed to it, but then they got distracted by the man whore.
Sorry, I don't offer those sort of services.
Really? Not
Yes,
even to
really.
Lady Schnobbington?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm not qualified in that sort of business. I'm qualified in using these.
You must understand, like, all the oxygen is like transferred to his muscle up here.
Well,
It's
you know
like-
what they say. Good with a stick, good with something else too.
White. Very uncomfortable with this.
I'm sorry. I'm working right now. I don't get to mix business and pleasure.
That's a shame. If you change your mind, do come on back. All right, and I guess you can do the blood draw and take off.
Okay.
As you're leaving the Lady Schnobbington and her friend, I want to check in with Simon here for a little bit. Victor or James or whatever you want to call yourself right now. How do you feel about your mother sort of propositioning your friend?
Not very great. Very uncomfortable. Like it seems like I'm doing my best like to keep a straight, but you can see like there's discomfort on my face. Like I'm like gripping my knuckles a bit. Like, why is my mother? Like I'm thinking like, why is my mother like thinking of cheating on my father? But like, my father's kind of like a dick, I guess, because like, he's raising the dead to do his bidding. So like, yeah.
Yeah. And there's not really cheating. It's like a concubine, Your father might have a mistress on the side. Your mother might have like a mister on the side.
Fair enough.
If it's like a political marriage, then
Nobles
they
often have
like
their
side
like
people.
Yeah, they got their side
Side people.
folks.
The thing's like this didn't really like come into place as I was living here, so maybe they always sneaked on the side, and
Of
now
course.
like
Yeah, like your parents aren't gonna share these sorts of stories with you, but this is like what goes on behind the scenes, probably.
Yeah, I like now. I'm thinking like, has this always been going on? Or like that kind of gives me like a it's like a I don't want to think about my parents what they do in the bedrooms, and I don't really want to think about what they do with the concubines either. No.
Yeah. It's just it's too much.
It's not a comfortable subject at all. But yeah, well, the Rock didn't agree, so I think like as we leave, I pat him on the show, like on the part where I can reach, because I'm guessing he's a pretty big guy. I'm pretty short, so like
that's not. That whole thing was smelling like trouble, and
it was probably more trouble than it was worth. And
exactly, 200 gold. That was more of a. I didn't think they'd actually take it. Yeah.
Your time really worth that much.
All right. Well, you head back to Berkshire. You get back no problem. It just takes a couple of days. You find what's her name? Sherry. Perfect. Thank you. Still in the tavern, waiting. Well, not really waiting for you, like doing stuff, but she's there as you guys come on in. She waves you down. Ah, lovely, my friend. You have returned. Did you get the blood?
We managed.
Wonderful. There's just one more ingredient that we need for this process. And I'm afraid this one might not be quite so easy. It might involve a little bit of danger and a little bit of fighting.
Oh, finally something worth my time. What do we got to smash?
We need the beard of a Shadu.
What?
Now, unfortunately, Shadus are very, very attached to their beards, literally and metaphorically, and will probably fight to the death to protect it. So you'll probably just have to kill a Shadu. If you can bring me its head, I will actually even give you money for it. But I need the beard for the procedure.
Now, describe a Shadu to me.
She pulls out her little book of monsters and shows you what a Shadu looks like.
Oh, look at that. Where can we find one?
And she lets you know that you can find a Shadu deep in the West Grove near the Deep Wood Swamp. There are a few Shadu that live around there.
All right, important stuff. What can they do?
They are the world's most ugly creatures. I mean, just look at this thing. Huh? What sort of abomination might this be? It could only have been created by the gods of ugliness and horror. If such gods existed. Really? What have you seen that's worse than that? What's uglier than that?
Is it a dwarven head?
I saw his mother.
Oh, shit.
And with that, why don't we go to break, everybody? We'll see you on the other side.